Hello dear students and welcome back to the channel. So guys, इस session में we'll be discussing the previous year paper for RBI Grade B for the year 2022. And the purpose of this session is to first of all help you to understand what kind of questions you face in this exam. Second, what is the difficulty level of the questions and what we have been experiencing over the last couple of years. So the purpose of these sessions is to basically align yourself to the structure of the exam and to see what questions to attempt and what questions to skip. So this is the purpose of this session, to help you to understand that this needs to be done, this is what needs to be taken care of, and this is the kind of questions that you might be you might face in the exam when you walk into the exam room. So let's jump into the session and let's start the solution. Let's understand the solution for the previous year paper for 2022. But before we go any further guys, let me also tell you about our courses. So what you have to do is you can just click on the link given in the description of the video, or what you can do is just type edutap.in. What you have to do is you have to just type edutap.in on your browser and you will land on our home page. And that is what we are offering you guys. We are not offering you a course, we are offering you a mentorship program. So every aspirant needs a mentor, not a course. So we are here to help you, to hold your hand in this journey and to take you along to the final destination. So guys, when you land on this page, just see the tabs on the top. Now in courses you will see RBI Grade B courses. When you click on that, you will see RBI Grade B courses. Now this is a starter pack. Now this is free of cost. You can go check out the videos, you can watch a few demo videos from any of the subjects that you are going to face in the exam. And this is a test series for RBI Grade B. But guys, if you are preparing, if you're starting to prepare for RBI Grade B, this is a one-stop solution for your exam. RBI Grade A and Grade B Gold course. Now in this course we are providing you content classes, live classes, concept notes, summary sheets, mock tests, interview sessions for your final leg of the exam. And not just for any one subject, for all the subjects: quants, reasoning, English, finance, management, economic and social issues, current affairs, general awareness, and everything that you need to cover for this exam. Computer language, so everything that you need for this exam has been covered in this course. And this is not just for phase 1, this is for phase 1 plus phase 2 plus interview. Now we also have a silver course which is only viable for phase 2 and interview. But the first step is to clear phase 1, and then we will we'll be looking at phase 2. So this is a one-stop solution for your exam. And we are offering flat 15% off on this course right as of now. So the coupon code is early15 and this might change very soon. So come join us, start your preparation, streamline your journey and get ahead of others. When you start early, you obviously you take a long journey and you have more chances of getting across, right? So that was that about our course. Now let's come back to the session and let's start with the solution of this previous year paper. Okay, so guys, I'll tell you what kind of questions you face in the exam, and what are the solution for those questions, how to attempt those questions. So let's begin guys. Now normally we see reading comprehension in the initial stages of the exam. And why do they give you reading comprehension as the first question of this exam? Because they want to first of all push you, they want to put you under pressure, because reading comprehension takes a lot of time, and time is a luxury that you do not have in this exam, right? So do not, if you have reading comprehension as the first question in the exam, do not start with reading comprehension, start with shorter questions first. Okay, so you start with shorter questions and then you move towards the longer questions. That is how you will you will achieve efficiency in your answers. Okay, all right guys, so but we are just solving the passage, so let's see what we have to do. So in reading comprehension, you don't read the passage first. What you do is you read the questions first. So the first question is okay, as a sentence is given to you with the 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4, we have to find the erroneous part in this. Okay, so this is error detection based on reading comprehension. See, you can face such questions in the exam. error detection on the basis of one sentence given in the passage. Okay. Second is, why did the lifelong learning schemes in the UK fail in the past? So we have to find the reason or reasons why lifelong learning schemes failed in the UK. So I think the passage is going to be about some lifelong learning schemes in the United Kingdom. Okay. Second question is, why are the politicians in UK also targeting those already in the workplace for lifelong learning schemes? Why are the politicians targeting those who are already in the workplace for lifelong learning schemes? Okay. With which of the following statement is the author most likely to agree? Okay, so we'll get this after reading the passage. We have to find a synonym of embark, and we have to find the antonym of resilient. And I think we have 6 questions on the reading comprehension, so I think we can solve it. So let's go through it quickly, guys. We know what you have to find. See, guys, when you read the questions first, you prepare yourself for, for before you before you read the passage, you are mentally preparing yourself what you are going to face. So I know passage is going to be about UK. There is going to be something about lifelong learning schemes, people in the workforce, something like that, right? So I'm mentally prepared now to read and to identify what I have to locate in the passage. Okay. So you need to know what you have to look for before you start reading the passage, and that is why you read the questions before reading the passage. Now let's read the passage, guys. The United Kingdom aspires to be a knowledge economy working at the top of the production chain. The government has lifted student number caps to create more university places. For those who prefer a work-based route to higher skills, there are new degree apprenticeships. Okay, this is great. It's essential that young people get the best possible preparation for adult life and the opportunity to embark. Embark means to start, to initiate on interesting and satisfying careers. But now this is the sentence where you have to find the erroneous part. But the number of 18 years olds in the not 18 years olds, it should be 18-year-olds. So, but the number of 18-year-olds in the UK population is falling, and the Office for National Statistics predicts that more than a third of the UK workforce will be over 50 by 2020. So, we also need to consider those already in the workplace. So, now that's why they are considering people who are already in the workplace, because 1/3 of the UK population will be over 50 by 2020. So, that is why they are targeting people who are already in the workplace. So, we have found 2 answers in this one sentence only. Next, politicians are beginning to take notice. One of the labor leaders has called for a national education service or learners at every stage of life. Okay, and the current government is considering whether the time is right to look again at lifetime learning support in its most recent budget. As part of this support, politicians have promised that in addition to loans already available for further and higher education, it will introduce loans for level 3 to 6 training in further education, part-time second degrees in science, technology, engineering and maths STEM subjects. So science, technology, engineering and maths subjects, and postgraduate taught master courses. Okay. So why not introduce lifetime learning accounts for everyone? As with further and higher education loans, the money could go straight from the government to a reputable provider, preventing fraud, and would be repaid by the student once they were earning above a certain income, increasing affordability. Okay, that is the point. Sadly, now they're talking what happened in the past. Sadly, the last attempt to provide support to learners in this way ended in disaster. The Labour government's 1997 manifesto promised individual learning accounts, a fairly small amount of public money, supplemented by an individual's own savings that could be used to pay for training, for example, by women returning to the workforce. Although the basic idea made sense, money was lost to fraud. The government was accused of, so there was a fraud, government was accused of incompetence, and the whole policy became toxic. The new skills account were introduced in 2008-9 but provided little more than careers information for graduates, so it was also not helpful. So if so many past initiatives have failed, why bother introducing new ones? There are several potential benefits, not least making the system simpler by putting financial support for further and higher education in one place. These accounts could also provide a convenient vehicle for new and or exceptional funding. When a major company goes under, the government usually provides support to retain people who have lost their jobs. Instead of providing money to the bureaucracy, an entitlement could go directly to the workers' accounts, making it easier for them to control their route into a new job. It is unlikely that the government will change the system in one fell swoop, and probably inadvisable that it should. But little by little, new flexibilities could be introduced. Loans could have an affordable cap and could be drawn throughout students' lives as required. Those who are uncomfortable with carrying a lot of debt could draw money in modules, paying each one off before moving to the next. There would have to be a more collaborative mindset, with the universities and colleges actively encouraged to work together to create clear progression routes. This could work for both parties. Universities could help students to convert their further study into degrees, and colleges would be able to help people with professional degrees access appropriate professional development. Now, these measures would make it possible for us all to learn throughout our lives and be more resilient. That means more, resilient is to be sturdy, to be tough, right? To be more resilient to the ups and downs of the modern labor market. Let's recognize that jobs are no longer for life and education is not just for the young. So that is what they are putting across. So that is why they need people to in the workplace. So let's look at the questions now, guys. But the number of 18 years olds, I told you this should be not 18 years olds, it should be the number of 18-year-olds in the UK population is falling. So option A is your correct answer. It should be number of 18-year-olds, not 18 years old. See, the concept is from nouns, that if a number is followed by two or more nouns, the noun in the middle start acting as adjective, and adjectives are not used in plural forms. So 10-year-old boy. So 18-year-old population. So it should be 18-year-olds, not 18 years olds. So option 1 is the correct answer. Second, guys, why did the lifelong learning scheme in the UK fail? The personal savings invested by public for training was lost to fraud. The government utilized the money paid by the public in foreign investment. No, this is incorrect. And third, the skills accounts of 2008 provided nothing but careers information for graduates. Yes, so option 2 is absolutely correct. So we can eliminate options with option number 2. So we are left with 1 and 3. So that is the correct answer. Yes. So the savings invested by public was lost to fraud. We found that. And then they'll also lost skills account in 2008 and 9, but it was nothing more than career information for graduates. So option 1 and 3 were correct. Next question, guys. Why are the politicians in UK also targeting those already in the workplace for lifelong learning schemes? The future of economy depends on the senior citizens of the nation. The number of young in the nation is declining, and in the coming years, more than a third population would constitute the middle-aged. Yes, that's the right answer. The government has realized that women need to be given equal opportunities. It's not just about women, it's about people who can work in the workforce, and the ones at the workplace possess outdated and futile skills need to be familiarized with the emerging technologies. No, the correct answer is option number B. The number of the young in the nation is declining, and in the coming years more than a third population would constitute of the middle age. That is why politicians are also targeting people who are already in the workplace. So option B is the correct answer. Next, with which of the following statements is the author most likely to agree? Previous initiatives to help learners of all ages have been beset by problems, but it's time to look at new models for a shifting employment landscape. Correct. The future of the knowledge economy of the UK is bleak, as the number of young people is drastically declining. That's also true. And the government is reluctant to create smooth process through which maximum people can benefit from lifelong. No, government is not reluctant. They are trying to do it, but they have failed in the past. So this is incorrect. So 1 and 2 were correct. Third is incorrect. So 1 and 2, yes. Option D is your correct answer. Next question, guys. We have to find the synonym of embark. Embark means to start a journey. So terminate, no. Opposite, initiate, yes. Preoccupy, no. Relevance, what is preoccupy? To occupy means to own something. Preoccupy is when you already own something. Relevance, how relevant it is? No. Associate is to make an association. No. The correct answer is initiate. So embark means to initiate, to start a journey. And we have to find the opposite antonym of the word resilient. Resilient is strong, sturdy. So steep, tough, plaint, ignominious, and equal. No, guys. See, equal is when you are when you are the same. Ignominious, somebody who's very strong. Tough, again strong. Steep, somebody who's very deep. But plaint means somebody who easily gives up, somebody who's very simple, somebody who's very simple minded, somebody who doesn't work hard enough. So that is plaint. So opposite of resilient would be plaint here. So option C is the correct answer. All right, guys. Let's move towards the other questions. Now, what we have to do? We are given a sentence, and we have to find the erroneous part. So, error detection basically. We are given a sentence. We have to find the erroneous part in this. So, let's read and let's answer the questions. Inefficiency high school learning eventually hurts the ability of students to take on global competition and turn into world beaters. Okay, world beaters, world leaders. Okay, but still, I found the error in the first part. Not inefficiency high school learning. It should be inefficient high school learning. Inefficient high school learning eventually hurts the ability, not inefficiency. Inefficiency is noun. Now we have to use an adjective here. So it should be inefficient high school learning eventually hurts the ability of student to take on global competition and turn into world leaders. So option 1 is the correct answer. Next question, guys. Political action groups lay in wait for companies that stumble in its conduct and treatment of multiple stakeholders. Guys, I think it's subject verb agreement. Look at this. Political action groups lay in wait for companies that stumble in its conduct or in their conduct. When we are talking about companies, so political action groups lay in wait for companies that stumble in their conduct and treatment of multiple stakeholders. So it should be not there, it should be there, not its here. So political action groups lay in wait for companies that stumble in their conduct and treatment of multiple stakeholders. So option 3 is the correct answer. Next question, guys. E-business platforms operate on the principle that long-term customer lock-on is far more strategically important than short-term profits. All right. E-business platforms, e-commerce platforms operate on the principle that long-term customer lock-on, it should not be lock-on, it should be lock-in. See, guys, lock in means to associate with someone for a long period of time. So it should be long-term customer lock-in is far more strategically important than the short-term profit. So it should not be lock-on, it should be lock-in. So option 3 is your correct answer. So e-business platforms operate on the principle that long-term customer lock-in. Lock-in means to keep them associated with you is far more strategically important than the short-term profits. Next question, guys. Every kaleidoscopic elements merge together beautifully to create the most delightful and unique East Lindsay market town. This is very simple, guys. Easily recognizable. It should see, guys. Every is a singular word. It cannot take a plural noun with it like this. So it should be every kaleidoscopic element merged together beautifully to create the most delightful and unique East Lindsay market sound. It should be element, not elements. So option A is your correct answer. Next question, guys. Now we are given double fillers. So we have to look at the double fillers. We are given two sentences. What I mean by double fillers is you are given two sentences with one blank in each, and we have to find that one word which can fit in both these blanks. So let's read the question, guys. He is sentenced to jail for consistently and dash ill-treating his wife and children. Okay. And valuable programs could have saved lives but involved greater scrutiny of the council's affairs were dash abandoned. And carelessly ill-treating, allure is to lure someone, no, abating is to abet, is to save someone, abating. Um Impassively is indirectly, droopingly, no, droopingly abandon. It should be carelessly, guys, inconsiderately. So he's sentenced to jail for consistently and carelessly ill-treating his wife and children. And second, valuable programs that could have saved lives but involved greater scrutiny of the council's affairs were carelessly, well, inconsiderately abandoned. So carelessly fits both the context absolutely well. So option A is your correct answer, definitely, guys. All right, next question. John's dash behavior is to get him in a lot of trouble one of these days. When the astronomer looked into the telescope, he was shocked by the sight of a star moving in a dash path. So John's dash behavior, peculiar. Peculiar is specific, so that's not correct. Abnormal behavior, yes. Deviation behavior, no. Exceed is a verb, can't fit here. And aberrant behavior, yes. So we have to choose between abnormal and aberrant. So John's abnormal behavior or aberrant behavior is to get him in a lot of trouble one of these days. Both can fit here. But in second sentence, when the astronomer looked into the telescope, he was shocked by the sight of a star moving in an abnormal path or aberrant path. See, guys, we don't have stars moving in abnormal path. Aberrant is the right word. Aberrant is deviated path. not, not functioning on the usual path that it moves, but aberrant is deviated path. So and John's aberrant behavior means deviated behavior, changed behavior. So option E is your correct answer. Aberrant is the right word, not abnormal. Abnormal behavior is correct, but abnormal path of a star, that does not fit in, in scientific terms. So stars don't move in abnormal paths. They can, on the other hand, have aberrant path. By the way, all right, guys. So option E is your correct answer. Next, when police officers questioned him, he became dash and tried to hit one of them. Okay, the boys found it hard to get along with Tom because he always said dash things. So it's a negative word. Amicable is friendly, no. And he became abhor. Abhor is a verb, can't fit here. He became resolute. He said resolute things, no. Belligerent, yes. Rude and angry. And requite, requite is again very calm. So correct answer is belligerent. Clearly, he became belligerent. He became angry and tried to hit one of them. And boys found it hard to get along with Tom because he always said belligerent things. So option D is your correct answer. Next question, guys. Okay, now we have to match the column. So guys, this is a new type of question. What you have to do is, you are given three sentences which are broken into half. So first half of these three sentences is given in column A1, and second half of these sentences is given in column 2. So we have to match the column 1 with column 2 so that the sentences formed are both meaningful and grammatically correct. So they should be meaningful and they should be grammatically correct as well. So let's look at the options, guys. It takes 2 hours on the train. Let's see what it matches with. Which option? The task is cognitively demanding, no. Is harder than I thought it would be, no. But it is a little bit long by road, yes. So it takes 2 hours on the train, but it is a little bit long by road. So A with E. I'm just connecting them for now. I'll look at if they are grammatically correct later on. The scores are low because the task is cognitively demanding. Yes, so B with D. And writing a list of random sentences is harder than I thought it would be. Yes, C with E. So that's the, sorry, A, B, C, D, E, F. Oh, so sorry guys. So this is F. So A with F, B with D, and C with E. So now let's look at the grammatical part. It takes 2 hours on the train, but it is a little bit long by road. No, guys, it is not a little bit long. It should be, but it is a little bit longer when we are talking about train and road. So we are comparing two things. So it should be comparative degree here. So it takes 2 hours on the train, but it is a little bit long. No, it's not a little bit long by road. It is a little bit longer by road. So option A with F is not grammatically correct. B with D, the scores are low because the task is cognitively demanding. Correct. Writing a list of random sentences is harder than I thought it would be. That's also correct. So A, B with D, C with E. है कहीं पे B with D, C with E. Yes, option D is your correct answer. So we have to practice such questions so that we can improve our time here. Let's look at another question. While you were playing the video game, your wife washed the clothes. Strong protocol for no, for a synchronous no. So A with, I think, D. Strategies discussed at a meeting included a study plan. A strong protocol for safe carcass, no. For a synchronous coordinates survey in 5 states. Strategies discussed at a meeting included a study plan for a synchronous coordinated survey in 5 states. Okay. So B with F. Let's see, the group emphasized on having a strong protocol for safe carcass disposal. Yes. So C with E. Now let's look at the grammatical part. While you were playing the video game, your wife washed the clothes. So A with D. But while you were playing the video game, your wife, it should not be your wife washed, it should be your wife was washing the clothes. So see, when we use while, we are basically referring to two simultaneous actions, but second action is not simultaneous, so this is not grammatically correct. So it should have been while you were playing the video game, your wife was washing the clothes, but it's not correct. So let's look at the second option. Strategies discussed at a meeting included a study plan for a synchronous coordinated survey in 5 states. Looks correct. Yes. And then the group emphasized on having a strong protocol for safe carcass disposal. The group emphasized, see guys, this is incorrect. We do not use on after emphasize. See, the group emphasized having, not emphasized on having. So we do not use emphasized on. So this is also incorrect. So it should be B with F. Yes, option C is the correct answer here. The group insisted on emphasis. Acha, oh. Okay, no, guys. I think I made a mistake here. I think insist is not followed by if I'm not wrong, insist is not followed by on. Emphasized and pressurized on is correct. So yes, C with E is also correct. But B with F is not the right combination. So B with D, no guys. No, I think this is incorrect. So option the group. Just give me a second, guys. Let me just confirm if we can use emphasized. Huh. No, guys, I was correct. Sorry for my mistake. Again, this is incorrect. We do not use on after emphasized. We do use insist on. मैं वही कंफ्यूज हो रहा था कि insist के बाद on यूज होता है या emphasized के बाद किसी एक के साथ होता है और एक के साथ नहीं होता, मुझे जहां तक याद आ रहा था. बट आई एम करेक्ट नाउ कि emphasized के बाद on यूज नहीं होता, insist के बाद persist on and insist on होता है, लेकिन emphasized on नहीं होता. So C with E is incorrect. So option C is definitely correct, guys. B with F is the right answer. Okay, sorry for the mix-up. All right, next question, guys. After a disaster, the Red Cross works with community partners to provide hot meals, means to convey information is no longer online. So I think D is correct. A with D. The memory we used to share means to convey information. Yeah, is B with F is no longer coherence, and plants use electrical chemical means to convey information. Yes, so C with E. So A with D. Sorry, A with D. B with F and C with E. Now let's look at the grammatical part. After a disaster, the Red Cross works with community partners to provide hot meals. This is correct. The memory we used to share is no longer coherence. No, guys, this is incorrect. It should be coherent. Coherence is noun, it should be coherent, adjective. So this is incorrect. The memory we used to share is no longer coherent. I do not remember what we used to share. And third, plants use electrical chemical means to convey information. Absolutely correct. So A with D, C with E. A with D, C with E. Yes, option A is your correct answer, guys. Next, crude oil prices recovered some ground. We realize after significant losses in the previous day in Italy. Yes, so A with E. His blue coat was dirty. We realize we are all the same, neatly folded and kept. No, it does not match with any of them. We realize we are the same, neatly folded and kept. No, guys, this is also possible. It might not connect with any of them. Let's all be unique together until we realize we are all the same. Yes, so A with D. So B with F does not make any sense. His blue coat was dirty, neatly folded and kept. So how is it dirty and neatly folded and kept? So that's incorrect. So let's see. Crude oil prices recovered some ground after significant losses the previous day. Okay, A with E. All right, and let's all be unique together until we realize we are all the same. That's also correct, guys. So A with E and C with D. A with E, A with E. No, not this. A with E and C with D. Yes, option E is your correct answer, guys. So that's how you solve. These match the column based questions, guys. All right, now we move into the next question. What we have to do, we are given 5 sentences we have to find which is the right, okay, rearrangement of sentences. Okay, guys. So let's solve them. Epidemics, much like wars or natural disasters, profoundly influence the course of history. Now, guys, in such question, you also only have to find the first and the second. You'll get the sequence from the options here. So, epidemics, much like wars or natural disasters, profoundly influence the course of history. Yes, over a hundred years later. So this cannot be first sentence. No, smallpox, malaria, influenza decimated indigenous Americans after European contact in the 16th century, paving the way for Western colonization of the New World. No, guys, again, this cannot be the first sentence. Some scholars credit the HIV/AIDS crisis of 1980s with pushing the gay right movement into the political mainstream. No. Yellow fever helped turn the tide of Haitian revolution at the beginning of the 19th century. No. So first sentence is definitely option number A, which is the broader statement, which is the introductory statement. Epidemics. See, all the other sentences are talking about diseases. The only sentence which opens the statement is option A. Epidemics, much like wars or natural disasters, profoundly influence the course of history. So which option starts with A? Option A and option D. Now we have to see A with C or A with B. Uh, epidemic over 100 years later. No, B cannot be correct. See, there's no talk of time here, right? So it should be C. Second sentence should be C. So smallpox, malaria, influenza decimated India. Yes. So A after followed by C. So option A is your correct answer. A, C, E, then B, and then last D. That's the correct sequence here. Okay. So you can solve such questions with the help of your options. Elimination method is the best way, guys. All right. Okay, there are more questions like this. Okay. Let's look at the option. In everyday life, food is often used to enhance mood or treat ourselves. However, if not comforting, this cannot be the first sentence. Eating tasty food releases dopamine in our brains, which is strongly associated with desire and wanting for food. Cannot be the first sentence. Eating sweet and fatty foods may improve our mood temporarily by making us feel happier and more energetic while also satisfying. No, cannot be the first sentence. From an early age, infants learn to associate feeding with being soothed and social interaction. And I think, can it start with A? Hmm. Yes, guys, I think the first sentence is option number A here. Correct. So the correct sequence is, I have found the correct sequence. See, after A, now we have to find the second sentence. Can A be followed by B? However, if comfort eating becomes a habit, it often comes. No. So correct sequence is, first is A, second is C. Eating tasty food releases dopamine in our brains, which is strongly associated with desire and wanting for food. Then third is option number E. From an early age, infants learn to associate feeding with being soothed and social interactions. So yes, and then B. However, if comfort eating becomes a habit, it often comes with health costs such as weight gain. And eating sweet fatty food may improve our mood temporarily, but while also satisfying our hunger. So correct option is option number A. So that's the correct answer, guys. So option A is the right answer. All right. Uh, let's uh, let's move to the next question. Okay, again, you have to find. There are many sentence rearrangement based questions in 2022. That's why the paper was difficult for students. But still, let's see, guys. We can find the answer by by elimination method. Even as modern science grapples with rapidly declining bee population, we could look back and take a lesson on sustainability from ancient culture of Adivasis of the Nilgiris, covering three states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu. No, this cannot be the first sentence. Of these, this also cannot be the first sentence. Traditionally, these tribes, no, cannot be the first sentence. In recent times, with reduced forest cover, climate change, and government restrictions, it has become increasingly difficult for these tribes. Cannot be the first sentence. So, first sentence is definitely option number A. Right, yes. So, A is the correct answer. I mean, A is the first option. Now, let's see ACE or ABC. Hmm. No, it should be A, then B, not of these. It should be A, first sentence should be A, then second sentence should be B. So A, B, I think it is clearly, there is no sequence required here, guys. A, B, C, D, E. It's definitely that. So the option D is the correct answer, guys. So there was no rearrangement required. The sentence could be arranged in this manner. A, B, C, D, E. That's the right combination here. All right, guys. Next question. Again, we have to find the right combination. Okay. Panic buying and stockpiling are likely responses to heightened anxiety, fear, and uncertainty about the future. Amid global spread of COVID-19, we are witnessing an increased focus on gathering food and supplies. Okay. Messages to reassure people there would be continued supply of provisions has done little to ease public anxiety. Being able to exert some control over the situation by gathering goods to store for lockdown is one way individuals seek to manage anxiety and fear and feel protected. Okay. We've seen images of supermarket shelves emptied of basics such as toilet paper, pasta, and tinned foods. Okay. I think option B is the correct, the first sentence here. Amid the global spread of COVID-19, we are witnessing an increased focus on gathering food and supplies. Rest, I think, cannot be the first sentence. So is there an option? Yes, option B. Then B, after that we have seen images of supermarket shelves emptied because of this. Then messages to reassure people has done little to ease the public anxiety. Then option number A, panic buying and stockpiling are likely responses to the heightened anxiety, fear and uncertainty about the future. And last, being able to exert some control over the situation is the way finally people manage to seek anxiety, fear and feel protected. Yes. So option B is the correct answer here, guys. So see, when you have such questions, you have to be smart while solving such questions. Okay. All right, guys. Next, what we have to do is which of the following phrases 1, 2, or 3 given below each sentence should replace the phrase and printed in so sentence replacement. So to make the sentence grammatically correct. So we have to see which of these can replace this bold part, and there are a combination of this. Okay, the business looks at this new country and decides to move there. The business looks at this new country and decides to move there because from their standpoint they can make costs and be more efficient. They can make costs, nahi. From it should be not from its standpoint. So it would benefit their CEO's personal life. They can save costs and be more efficient. They can save cost, not make costs. They can save costs and be more efficient, and but to be cost efficient in tax exemption. But to be cost efficient and tax exemptions. No, guys, only I think only option 2 is correct here. So only option 2 is the right answer. So only B, only 2 is the correct answer here. Next, the company should insure its workers because if uninsured workers end up into the ER, the burden falls on society, not the company. So the company should insure its workers because if uninsured workers end up into the ER, the burden falls on society, not on the company. If uninsured workers end up into the ER, when these okay, when the uninsured workers fall ill, the burden, okay, if these uninsured workers suffer injury, yes, guys, when these uninsured workers not end in ER, end up. So one cannot be correct. When the uninsured workers fall ill, yes. If these uninsured workers suffer injury, the burden falls on this. So both 2 and 3 can be, can replace here. So any option, yes, option D is your correct answer, guys. So both option 2 and 3 could be used here. Next, unlike in Western countries where most of the salt comes into processed foods, most salt consumed in China comes from the salt added while cooking. Unlike in the Western countries where most of the salt comes into processed foods, China comes from the salt added while cooking. Okay, where most of the salt comes into processed foods, more salts are making their way into processed foods. More salts are becoming part of the produced food. No, most of the salt comes from the processed foods. Most of the salt comes into, not comes into, comes from. Yes. So option C is the correct answer. That's what I was waiting for. Unlike in the Western countries where most of the salt comes from processed foods, most salt consumed in China comes from, see, we have used comes from. So that is why it should be comes from the salt added while cooking. So option 3 is correct. So only option 3 is the right answer. Next question, guys. The earliest rocket parts were carried to ISRO over cycles and bullock carts. That's true. We have seen those pictures. The earliest rocket positions would be positions? No. The further rocket parts would be carried to ISRO. No. The earliest rocket parts was to be carried. No, rocket parts were is correct. So no correction required here, guys. The sentence is correct as it is. The earliest rocket parts were carried to ISRO over cycles and bullock carts. That's true. Next, guys, what do you have to find? Choose the word from the following options which is opposite in meaning to the other word. So odd one out. So we have to find the odd one out from the given words: developed, incipient, inceptive, inchoate, and rudimentary. So guys, rudimentary is something very raw. Inchoate, inceptive, incipient, and developed are, which are matured, right? Grown. So rudimentary is the only odd one out. So option E is the correct answer. Next, again, we have to find the word which is opposite in meaning to the other words. Again, odd one out. Uncanny, very sharp. Bizarre, very strange. Natural, eerie, unearthly. So uncanny is unbelievable, bizarre is again unbelievable, eerie is again unbelievable, unearthly is which you don't see very frequently, but natural is which is very common. So option C, natural, is the odd one out here, guys. So we sometimes also find such questions in the paper that will help you to prepare better. Okay. Now we have to find which. Okay, so we are given one sentence with a blank. We have to find the correct pair of words. So we have the two of the given words can fit into. So we have to find the pair of words which can fit into this blank. Okay. In just over 3 months, the number of COVID-19 patients has swelled past 1 million, but dash information about the disease spreads much faster. But dash information, authentic information, dodgy information, clandestine information, dubious information. I think, yes, guys, dodgy is, I mean, this is fake information, and dubious is again wrong information. Clandestine is something which is hidden. Authentic is real. So B and D is there? B and D. Yes, option A is your correct answer. So, but dodgy information, yeah, dubious information about the disease spreads much faster. Next question, guys. The immediate priority, of course, is to dash the spread of the pandemic through widespread testing, rigorous quarantines, and social distancing. The immediate priority, of course, is to suppress the spread of, yes. Catalyze, no. Catalyze is to make it more aggressive. Inhibit, yes. Ascend is to take it further, yes. So suppress and inhibit. A with C. A with C. A with C. No. Oh, C with A, yes. So C and A are the right choice. So the immediate priority is, of course, is to inhibit the spread and suppress the spread of pandemic. And last question for this paper, guys. Again, we have to find the pair of words. Ratings downgrade coupled with a loss of investor confidence could lead to a dash exchange rate and a dramatic increase in the long-term rates in this environment and substantial losses for our financial institutions. So, could lead to a plunging exchange rate, proliferating exchange rate, plummeting, stagnant. Yes. So, plunging is falling, proliferating is spreading, not correct. Stagnant is which stays at a place, but plummeting is again which keeps on falling continuously. So, plunging and plummeting are the correct word. So A with C, yes, option B is your correct answer. So guys, this was the previous year paper for your RBI Grade B 2022. So we have come, 3 years after that, and we have seen a little, few more questions in 24 and 25, like close test, idioms and phrases. So we need to prepare for such topics when we are, when we are targeting these exams. So this session was to help you in your preparation, to get you to understand what is the difficulty level of questions you face in the exam and which are the sections or the areas that you need to focus upon. So I hope the session has done its part. It has played the role it was supposed to, and I hope this will help you to boost your confidence in your preparation as well. So I thank you for your time, for your patience, and if you have any doubt, if you have any query, please feel free to get in touch with us. You can either call us on this number, which is 8146207241, or you can also drop us an email at hello@edutab.co.in. That's our email ID. You can drop us an email on this ID, and please do share your feedback in the comment section of the video as well, guys. Please do let us know if these sessions are helpful to you or not, and if you are finding them useful or not. So thank you so much once again, guys. Keep on working hard, keep on giving your best, and I'm sure you will come out with flying colors. So thank you once again, and happy learning to all of you. I'll be back with more such sessions in the future to help you in your preparation and in this journey. So thank you once again, and happy learning to all of you. Bye bye. Have a good day. Take care.